Hey, Hitomi, thank you so much for coming. It's really good to see you and really appreciate your time for doing this.
Thank you as well.
Awesome. So
Mhm.
so today I'd like to talk about your experience and your transformation through my coaching and what you've learned and what you achieved and all that, and also where were you before? So, I want to start off with asking you, what was the reason or motivation for you to apply the coaching and decide to have coaching with me?
Um, the reason I was really lost before I took part in your program. So, I remember it was beginning of this year. So I nursed my the cat that died last year. It was like 9 months of nursing her really well. And she died, but shortly after she died, I got an opportunity to work at a competitor company. Um, and that would kind of like raise my uh wage salary by a great amount. Um, but so I poured all my energy, ignoring my kind of like pet loss, into that end of year interviews, which was like 30 minutes times eight, right? So and I poured all my energy into that, and I think I went to the last two finalists, and I was ready to leave my current work, but I didn't get the job in the end. So I was totally burnt out. Totally, I had ignored my pet loss, so my heart was like everywhere. It was kind of like shattered into pieces. So at the beginning of the year, I was kind of like thinking I need something because I'd burned out so many times in the past, and I knew that this time it was really serious because I didn't feel anything, right? So, and my motivation or the passion that I had um till then had kind of disappeared. I don't know why, but it disappeared. It literally disappeared. So when I went back to work in January, I was ready to leave that work. So obviously I didn't have any passion for it anymore. And yeah, and that was when I saw kind of like I was looking through Instagram for some kind of inspiration or something to kind of move things along in terms of my passion.
Mhm.
And I saw your um your YouTube, or I think your Instagram for the program. Live your life like a movie, right?
Yeah,
That that was
the one
that was
before.
the program that, yeah. And it was really inspiring. The fact that I was mo working in the movie business and that kind of catch copy kind of like
Yeah.
hit me really hard. And the visuals was really, I think it wasn't anything that ever seen before at that time. I see a lot of people mimicking yours right now, but at
Yeah.
that time it was really new for me.
Yeah.
And so that's when I thought maybe he can change something that, I lost, or kind of like I can regain what I'd lost, or he can help me with something
Hmm.
in terms of, and
Yeah.
the live yourself like a movie, like life like a movie was like a really a expression that kind of was really close to where I was, in terms of how I wanted to live. So yeah, that was the reason that I applied to your program and thought about seriously about investing in some kind of coaching or guide.
Hmm. Well, first of all, I really appreciate your compliment, and especially coming from somebody in the movie industry, and appreciate that compliment on my creativity. That's definitely very unflattered. And yeah, so you were really lost, and then you were really grieving with your cat, the fact that he or she died, and you were really rock bottom because you couldn't get the job. And it's like, so what am I supposed to do? What am I going to do right now? And then you just wanted to like some sort of step. investing in
Mm-hmm.
yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and then get to the next level or do something, change your career or etc. So from there, like, what was your journey like in the last 6 months or a little bit more?
I think, they always say that, investing in yourself, the first swipe, the card swipe is the hardest.
Yeah.
And but it wasn't too hard for me to join your program because I was really desperate.
Mm,
So that was how low I was at the start. And I was really desperate. So, and you were like kind of like bigger than life kind of existence for me looking at it. So, I was like just heading towards the light, sort of, you know, instinctively kind of like going, move towards the light, move towards the light, sort of thing. And when I started your program, I think I started your program before that. I started with your meditation audio.
okay.
And because I do yoga and, health coaching, I was familiar to, like meditation, and I did do meditation like maybe 10 minutes a day, or so I wasn't new to it, but your meditation audio was really new for me. Like the visualization part. And it was really like literally like a movie, right? So the visualization and the audio, the music that comes with it was really in sync. And I kind of realized, I was thinking how cool this visualization and meditation is, because I kind of saw myself, or like the visualization, like a piece of film.
Mm,
So it started there. And then I took your course, and the basic fundamentals.
yeah.
Um, Basic fundamentals. It was really new. And it broke all kinds of barriers for me in terms of limited judgments, and, learning about, you can't read one book one time and learn things from it. So you have to repeat, to be able to really understand. And all those kind of like, yeah, I realized stuff. I thought I was an open person and open to
Mhm.
willing to learn person, but I wasn't at all, reflecting back on it. You know, I was I didn't realize that I wasn't really open to learn.
So you
So,
really expanded your self-awareness and like started realizing a
right,
lot of these
right,
things about you.
right. So I realized I wasn't aware of so many things. I thought I was a mindful person, but I wasn't at all. Learning from your basic fundamentals, it was like very new. And so I'd lost all my routines and everything that year before. So I just sat down and thought, I'm going to do this with show. So do this, do meditation every 20 minutes every day, and get my routines and running and yoga back, and just repeat, sort of, you know, for the first month or 2 months. And it worked. It really worked. It's like the repeat of doing that and the visualization
Mhm.
kind of really worked for me, because it set my routines back. It gave me my confidence. And I think it gave my rationality in terms of, being able to think about myself and what I wanted, or like just tidying up my headspace, sort of.
Mhm.
So that helped. So the first maybe maybe 2 months, 3 months was like, getting myself back again in terms of putting things in perspective.
Right, right.
So yeah,
But
yeah.
it's crazy now in hindsight. look at you right now and then look when you joined. I mean, you already, were doing yoga and meditation and stuff already, but like your confidence level is insane. And then you already, challenging yourself, running a business
Right.
actually from like I wanted to run a business to actually running a business. And I think it's such a huge change. Can you tell me about a little bit of that part?
Yeah. I, at first, I, I don't think I ever realized that I can or I want to, you know, run a business or like be a coach. It was only like a vague dream for me, something that
Mm,
I was doing as a hobby, you know, but not something that I would actually realize. So I think I was kind of like thinking about it, even
mm,
before stages of that. And then um so like when I started to be able to sort my mind out, um I started realizing that, I don't have to stick to my 9 to 5. But you told me to be grateful for my 9 to 5. I'm grateful for the stuff I
mm.
have now. Because I was kind of like thinking I was, having a gap between, why am I doing my 9 to 5? And
Yeah.
um, the distance I was feeling towards it was like getting bigger and bigger. And you told me that, be grateful for the 9 to 5 or whatever you have right now and start from there. So and and looking at it and then yeah, so in May-ish, I think, I started to kind of like realize what my dream is. You were asking us to, set our goals. I still have my iPhone goals in my in my
Yeah.
screensaver,
Yeah.
and look at it. And I started thinking, hey, maybe I can do this, you know. So that was the stage that I was at in May.
Mm.
And it's October now, but it's not even half a year that I've come through it. And you told me that, if you want to do it, then you have to do some stuff towards, that goal. And the first thing I did was, putting up reels on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I never ever thought that I'd be putting um up reels with my head talking reels on
Yeah.
Instagram. I've never thought of that. It was out of my range. So, but
So you
I
really
did
step
that.
out from the comfort zone, but even farther because you never thought that you would do
I
that.
never thought about it. And I had so much, yeah, one thing that I realized during your course was that how much rubbish I was carrying in terms of, past traumas or,
Mm.
being bullied or self-appearance or, self-image. So that was part of the reason that I had never thought of putting myself up there in on Instagram with my face talking. And I still have a little bit of a hurdle there, but um once I put it up, it was kind of like, so your program is like dream reality right now, right? And I think I think I am dreaming my reality sort of, or my reality is becoming a dream. Either way, I think I am stepping towards my dream. Um
100%. It's
stepping
already there, no?
right, right.
You're a
So
different person. You're already there. It's happening. It's already happening.
yeah, it's started to happen so fast once I realized it, and
Yeah.
once you kind of like pushed me a little bit towards that direction. And I think, so now. from there, I do still need to work on my Instagram sort of, but I have created my own program. I know the people that I want to help. Um, I know that, I can help. And I did my, first sales calls last week. And yeah, so all of that in like maybe 4 months or so from putting my first reels up on
Yeah.
Instagram to now, is like an amazing change. And I was looking at back on my first Instagram reel, and I I realized that, my eyes are kind of like dead compared to now. So
Mm,
yeah, it's really amazing the difference that, your expression or like your face changes with it. And I think I've changed so many, I've been on the dieting roller coaster, and I've been on a kind of like burnout roller coaster so many times, but I think this change is the biggest one that I've had in a long, long time, and the most meaningful, because I think it will change my life, or how I see my life going forward, especially because I'm before my 50s now. So, I'm 48. So, how I was just thinking about, if whether I was going to do my 9 to 5 until I'm for the next 10, 20 years, or whether I want to kind of like live my life working from wherever I want to, and
mhm.
making money there. So I have options now that I think, especially when you're Japanese, you know, you kind of have a successful corporate life, you tend to kind of like want to keep that, or want to stay
Yeah.
there, or
Yeah.
like the society expects you to, like, when I told my parents this, they were saying, why are you like, giving up on such a good position or like an opportunity? But, I'm not kind of giving up on it. I'm kind of expanding from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was the biggest change. It still is the biggest change. And the fundamentals that came with it through your course was like, um I think, it's not temporary. Like, you go on a diet, and once you're finished with the diet, it kind of like swings back. But
Yeah.
no, it's not like that. It's like the fundamentals are therefore there to stay, sort of.
Yeah.
So,
You're just
um,
becoming a different person.
yeah, yeah. So it was a big change,
Yeah,
and
I can see that. And I'm proud of you, and I'm very, very happy to see all the change and all the accomplishment you've made. So,
yeah, it's amazing. It's also amazing the people that was around me have changed as well.
mm,
Like, you know, um, so in between that, I got a raise in my job. So that
mhm,
was like, 5K. I don't know where that came from, because I didn't have motivation, or I thought I didn't have motivation in my current
yeah,
job, but I don't know where that came from. But I did. And then, my team has changed. My team has changed really, really amazing. Made an amazing change. My my assistant manager kind of like, he was not into getting promoted at all. He was happy with his comfort zone, but lately, he's kind of like saying he's ready to do this. He's ready to, move forward, get promoted and stuff like that, which was like, wow, where did that came from?
yeah,
And yeah, and he was telling me that he was kind of like, thinking into the life stages and everything, looking at me, thinking about life change and stuff like that, and you know, thought about it and was kind of like influenced. And another girl that's in my team is, getting coaching for for time management, I think.
Interesting.
And balancing her, she has kids, so balancing her life and her
Right.
work. And
So
another
your
girl,
your change
yeah,
made that all the impact to your
right,
team.
right, right.
Everyone else around you is changing, more positive, more uplifting, more motivated. And you manifested 4 5K. Additionally,
Yeah.
got the
So,
raise.
and all that happened in like 6 months, right? Oh,
Yeah,
looking back on it, that's amazing.
that is
Thinking,
amazing.
yeah, talking about it right now, it's kind of amazing the change that's happened in this short amount of time.
Yeah. And I think what's
Um,
what's the most important thing is that because it's like, like manifesting money and growing a business or manifesting this and that. Like at the end of the day, if you're not feeling good, if you're not confident, if you're not love yourself, that doesn't mean anything, right? Like you could be a loser in a Ferrari, you could be the saddest person in the biggest mansion. But I think you feeling good about yourself and also very, very expressive, more confident, the way you speak is different, the way you look different, all of those things are the most valuable thing. And additionally, because you became a different person, you can manifest higher income, you can manifest that better people around you or even lift people up. And I think all these byproducts of this side effect and influence is also beautiful to see. But I'm really happy that you feel really good and really confident, and I can see that that it's throughout the conversation, whether it's about the business or you're talking about your
mm,
team and stuff like that. And I think that's beautiful. I'm really happy and proud.
yeah, I can't thank you enough. I think, I keep thinking, what if I hadn't found you on Instagram? Or what if
Mm,
I think the timing was just right. So I think, the energy of the universe or whatever was,
yeah,
I was in sync at least at that moment, at that
yeah,
small moment. But, I keep thinking, what if I hadn't found you? Or what if I hadn't taken your program? And I think it, it, you know, thinking back to where I was, I'd definitely be a different person right now because I'd probably be, you know, blaming the company or blaming my boss for where I am or, not being able to evolve or whatever. But I'd probably be there and, just doing my 9 to 5 job. It's not exactly 9 to 5, which is another problem. But doing my 9 to 5 and though I'm really busy because I still have my, current job, plus, I'm trying to do all these things and, trying to do sales and stuff and Instagram as well. Um, but I'm really happy doing that, which is amazing. So, you know, you kept, saying about thoughts and feelings first and not the how. The how
yeah,
can come afterwards. So
exactly.
thoughts and feelings first. That's kind of like my mantra for me in when I really get overwhelmed. How am I thinking? How am I feeling? Am I enjoying it? Am I
Yeah,
not? Or, and not try to, when I overthink, I try to go back to that and end with everything will be fine. So don't
yeah.
worry about it.
That's your mantra. That's my mantra. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So it's helped me so 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 much. And I was worried I was gonna cry today because again, because
yeah,
I
it's
get
okay.
so, emotional when I'm talking about it because the change has been so big. So
I'm
yeah,
happy. I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that. So
yeah.
yeah, well, I really appreciate all this very real message and the realness that are coming out from you. And again, I'm happy that the change you've made is just like mind blowing. So I'm really happy. The things that you achieved and things that currently, making that shift, ongoing process is just amazing. Because I remember, it was really difficult for me to make that first step. But since that first step, I just no regret, and the fact that I have no idea what would have happened if I didn't make that change. It's
Mm,
uncomfortable, but that change is necessary. And then in hindsight, every single person is going to look back and appreciate that past version of ourselves, right? Like, thank you, you made the right choice.
mm.
So yeah, I really appreciate it. And if there's anything that you want to share for the people who's watching this video, or anything that you want to share, please go ahead, and then we're gonna
Anything I
end
want
this
to share?
conversation.
Yeah, show is your guy. If you want to make the change, show is your guy. Definitely. I can vouch for that. Yeah, the I think cost performance wise, like time versus the change and the cost, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So, I hope that show has changed so many people till now, and I'm sure that he's gonna change more people to come. And he's one of the most passionate people, in terms of working on himself as well as for other people. And I think, I I don't know who I would have been if, show wasn't there. So um yeah, so I can't thank him enough, and I hope that, more people can come and be, happier just because they met show. So great. And I can't thank you enough, show. So
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you too. To thank all your work, and I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. And you did all the work. You put that effort. You made a change. So give yourself a credit as well, and be proud. And thank you so much to me. Really appreciate this time. Really appreciate this
Thank
conversation.
you.
So
Thank you.
yeah, I will see you very, very soon. Ciao.